Hey, welcome back to the show. We're going to go directly back to our Toyota of Easley guest line and hook up with our boy, a resident co-host here of the program. Unfortunately, he is all over the world right now working everybody's camps. But I don't care because every time, hey, listen, I'm one for one. Last time he was here, I got a free pair of new kicks, free pair of shoes, so I am just fine.
Yeah, I'm waiting on mine, Eminem.
One Mr. M squared, Mike Morrison. What's shaking, brother?
Hey, nothing, man. How you guys doing today? Sound like you're having fun.
Always, man. Just missing you. Wish you were back here with us.
Oh man, I'm not too sad not to be there. I heard it's 165 degrees down there today.
Somebody told me today that it was going to be 106 tomorrow. So
wow,
it'll be a great day.
Wow. I wonder. Well, so you're going to be in Las Vegas next week, Mike, for all the Nike Skills Academies and also the U.S. Olympic Trials. We want to talk to you about that. I mean, surely it's going to be 106 there.
It's 106 year round out there.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It'll be there, but it's dry heat, so you don't feel it.
Yeah,
that's what they tell me anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say 106. I don't care if it's dry, wet, or it's somewhere in between.
Yeah, listen. Yeah. If it's 106 here tomorrow, it'll be a great day to be inside. That's where it'll be. Yeah. Mike, let's hit the draft real quick. Last night, most people knew that Anthony Davis would go number one. We won't spend any time on that, but we will say that the Bobcats did go with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist of Kentucky. We had the vice president of the Bobcats on yesterday, Carl Scheer, to talk about where they were headed. He was still unclear whether they were going to trade that pick or go forward with the pick. They decided to stick with it and go with him. And of course, this is a guy that obviously is a tremendous athlete and a good scorer. But quite frankly, Kidd-Gilchrist at times, I mean, he would go through streaks and not score. I mean,
well, yeah, that's what I asked Mike. What I want to ask you is, he seems to me like a utility knife for Kentucky and really just an energy guy. And so when I think of the Bobcats, and Scheer said it himself yesterday, they have needs at every position. I'm a little worried about drafting what seems to me just an energy guy. Help me understand this. Is he more than that?
Well, don't. I'm glad you guys aren't making the calls on the draft picks and neither did Carl Scheer, because they probably got the best all-around player in the draft.
Really?
He's not a utility guy. He's not a utility knife. He's a basketball player as a winner. I fortunately enough have known Michael Kidd-Gilchrist since he was in the 7th grade. First time I got a chance to work with him at Junior All-American camp, and I watched this kid grow. His mom said it best. Michael's comfortable in his own skin, and his objective is to go out and win. So whatever his team needs him to do, he's going to do. He's been in a relationship and been good friends with Michael Jordan for a very long time. And for those people that have, I guess you could say, deemed Michael as the worst in the league because of his previous draft picks, we're going to wait and see, because the jury's still out on what type of pro this kid's going to be, but the potential and his abilities are endless. So it'll be interesting to see if this one works out for him. But I got my cards, I got my bets down on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist to be one of the top 5 rookies next year.
You know what's funny is that 8 different times this year, he was in double figure scoring under 20 minutes in a game. I mean, he would come out of the gate with Kentucky and just be there, just a flurry of points right out of the chute. Sometimes his big criticism was that he cooled off in the second half, but in the first half, like you talked about, Will, from an energy perspective, Mike Morrison joining us right now, of course, our NBA resident expert and co-host here of the program. Willie B?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, too, about New Orleans Hornets, so no surprise they pick Anthony Davis. You had to pick him, and we think he's going to be great. Austin Rivers is another kid like Anthony Davis and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist that you've known for a long time. He got a lot of bad publicity. He's not a good teammate. He's selfish. He didn't fit in at Duke. Blah 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 blah. To me, when I look at Austin Rivers, I think a kid like Kobe Bryant who just believes in himself and wants the ball in clutch situations. And I think Eli Manning, and let me explain. To me, when you draft Eli Manning first overall, you realize, okay, well, his dad was a great pro. His brother is a great pro currently in the league. His options of failure are pretty low. Like, if anybody's going to know how to carry himself, work, be a professional, it's going to be Eli Manning. I feel the same way with Austin Rivers, having one of the best coaches in the league as his dad. Tell me your take on that.
Well, this is a time with me and you part ways, really, as far as agreeing. As much as I love the kid, Austin Rivers, he's he's a cancer to any program. And
Wow.
He's not going to be a good fit. I felt bad for Anthony Davis last night that he's got to start his pro career with a volatile kid like Austin Rivers. He's not going to fit into what they're trying to do because he only knows one way to play, and that's volume shooting. He's not a guy that's going to look to find other people or make anybody else better. It's actually going to be more competition than Anthony Davis is going to have from any other team he plays with. There's a difference between him and Kobe Bryant. The difference is oceans apart. Kobe Bryant was a gifted talent as a scorer. Now, Austin Rivers trying to make himself into a scorer. He has the most I guess you could say, unfundamental jump shot out there, and he's not a consistent shooter. He just shoots a lot. So that's a bad thing. He's not very good at getting to the basket, although he can get past people, but he's not a good finisher because he takes bad shots when he's trying to finish. So until he allows his father, which is one of the greatest minds in basketball, to start coaching him, he's not going to be that player everybody wants him to be because he's uncoachable, and that's a bad thing. Mike Krzyzewski had to deal with it because they knew that they were just fitting into the new era. Mike Krzyzewski doesn't like these one-and-done kids, but he had two of them. Kyrie Irving was an exception because Kyrie Irving was a kid that should have never had to go to college, but had to because of the rules. But he was a great teammate, got hurt, was able to sit down, and still become the number one draft pick the following year. But Austin Rivers is not that Kyrie Irving. He's not that type of a kid, and it's really going to be bad for Anthony Davis until they can either trade him or move him quickly because he's not going to fit in and help that system at all. And I hope I'm dead wrong, but odds are, because of the way I know this kid, I'm probably going to be right on with this one.
Wow, Mike,
I'll tell you, that is listen,
shocking to me.
Well, I'll say this. Mike Morrison gave some fairly bold predictions back in the NBA playoffs, and they all came true. Like, he was 19 for 19.
Right.
Okay, so Willie B,
I don't want to be 19 for 19 on this one because I love Austin Rivers as a person, but he's got to learn how to be a player. He's got to learn how to be a teammate.
You're telling me that he doesn't let his own dad, one of the best coaches in the game, coach him?
Well,
no. His dad found out early on. I've known his brother Isaiah longer than I've known Austin. But when Austin used to come to the gym with Isaiah, it was bad because Austin was that little kid that would kind of like the little spoiled kid that tell his dad to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And Doc understood his sensitivity, so he would leave him alone. But to me, he needs a butt whooping.
Wow.
He needs to be setting time out until he learns to respect his elders and learn how to play the game the right way. And it's too late. He's a spoiled brat, and he's the type of kid that's not going to find out till it's too late. And again, he's got a ton of talent, a ton of potential. But potential is just that. It's nothing until it's used the right way. It just dies as dormant ability until you use it the right way. But